this week's Grants Getaway, Grant McComey takes us to Sumter, Oregon.
Yeah, he meets a couple who give the song "I've Been Working on the Railroad" a whole new meaning. Take a look.
When the train whistle blows in Sumter, Oregon, one thing's for sure.
Train number 1 to Sumter!
Adventure's not far behind.
All aboard!
Even a century later, this railroad is always on time.
The original purpose of the railroad when it was built in the late 1800s, early 1900s was to haul lumber and logs.
There's no doubt about it, the Stump Dodger connects you with Oregon's past. And it turns out, some folks just can't get enough.
And it's back in the days right at the end of steam, and I remember these great big locomotives would go by and it would make the glass shake.
Gary Lee fell in love with trains as a boy. Decades later, he's the chief conductor and owner of the Baker and Grand Ron Railroad.
And I'm fascinated by the Old West and how the railroad played such an important part in development of it. There's something romantic about a train.
A romance he shares with his wife, Jonette. Over the past 25 years, the two have transformed their Corbett, Oregon backyard into a narrow-gauge railroad line that chugs across a make-believe eastern Oregon.
I sculpted all the hills and stuff, and as fast as I would do that, she's coming along behind me planting ground covers and grooming the garden.
We were novices, we didn't know. Mostly what we use in here are plants that are pretty forgivable. It's all ground cover, herbs, you know, just anything, and nothing that's over 6 inches tall. It all has to be to scale.
The work never ends. He spends all winter on buildings, rail equipment, and new track, so he can spend all summer outdoors.
Just like that. So, Ukiah's got a new freight house.
As many as 7 trains can run on the 900-foot-long hand-built, hand-laid track. And he lives to share it all with young and older visitors.
They're both fishing. Can you see them? Right here and right over there. That fun?
The effort is impressive. It took Lee a year to build the 22-foot-long trestle that climbs to the top of the Grand Ron River Canyon.
Try to make it as realistic as possible.
Lee attributes his railroading passion to youthful times with a dad who took his son to see the big trains roll across Oregon. Now those days fuel enough memories to last a lifetime on a railroad where imagination travels.
It was the most advanced technology available. There were no roads, and the only way you could get around was by rail, and that fascinates me.
Near Corbett, with photographer Jeff Kastner,
It's my inspiration.
Grant McComey, KGW.